All right, so for this demo video, I'm going to show you how to slip and score these together for the first mini assignment, which we're calling the hollow egg. Even though it's not really egg shaped, or more like an ostrich egg, I guess. I mean, this has flatter ends, so it could be like a barrel, but you get the idea. So we'll just go with the egg term. So you're going to slip and score these on top of each other, and then you are going to practice smoothing out the seam, because we want the line that separates the two pieces of clay. As you can see, there's a line right there. We want that to disappear, because you'll be adding sculptural elements, 3D elements, to your pinch pot. And take a look at this example. They perfectly smoothed out the clay between the shooting star and the pinch pot super well. Whereas the monkey, which is still really well done, you can see they didn't on the back sides of the ears. And thankfully for them, the ears are still attached, but that's still a chance I wouldn't risk taking, because as you can see right here, it did start to separate in the kiln. So there was a chance that the ears could have just fallen off. So that's another reason why you want to smooth the seam out. So before you slip and score these together, I would put both pinch pots under the hair dryer on the side of the classroom for a couple minutes, because if you try to slip and score these together right when they're done, they'll be a bit too wet, bit too floppy, and the egg may collapse on itself. So put them under the hair dryer for a bit. You want them to be leather hard. And again, that means it's like kind of cool to the touch and a bit more stiff than when it's fresh out of the bag. So first you want to score. Scoring, if you remember from the working with clay presentation, is when you do all these dash marks in every direction on both ends of the pieces of clay that you want to attach. So let me do that really quick. I'm using a knife. You could use a needle tool and scratch like that. Actually, I'm going to stick with this. And again, the scoring marks, do plenty of them. Really close together, some diagonal, some straight, some left to right. You get the idea. Because what this does is when you put the slip over the score marks on both ends, the slip fills in the cracks so that clay then connects together, just like my fingers right now. Then as it dries, the air disappears, and so on. See, so I've scored around the entire edge, or the top of that pinch pot, so I'm going to do the same right here. Again, for you guys, take your time. I mean, scoring shouldn't take that long, but like I said, I'm kind of rushing right now for the sake of the video. So, scored all the way around on this pinch pot as well. Now, using slip in the slip container, which really quick, your slip container, only ever have it half full. If it's more than half full, empty it into the slip barrel, because it just gets a bit too much and too messy. So, using your fingers, you will spread slip around the edges of the pinch pot. If the slip seems a little bit too stiff, so the consistency too similar to clay out of the bag, add some water to the container and just stir it around. But again, just make sure that the container doesn't go more than half full. So now I'm going to do the other end. See, that's about as thick of a layer as I would do. Definitely no thicker than that. And even that might be a bit much. Yeah, so this slip, I'm really digging in one corner because it's got kind of like a puddle of water there. So this one I definitely should add some water to later. but we just have enough to go over the whole edge. All right, so I have slip on both sides, or both ends. I'm going to turn one upside down, press down gently, and hold on 1 second. I'm going to clean slip off my fingertips quick. There we go. And now, let's move this out of the way. Now I'm going to smooth the seam over. You can use other tools for this as well. I've got my rib here, so I'm going to gently start scraping up. See, and as you can see, it's already starting to disappear. There's the rubber modeling tool as well. That's the one that has the, well, rubber end. It's a maroon color, maroon or burgundy. Also known as dark red. Here, gonna do it on my end, the opposite end, because I've got a better angle. Like I said, take your time. We're going to give you guys 2 to 3 days to work on the hollow egg, which means when you're home, you should be working on your planning packet for the pinch pots, which has 3 sketches, and then you'll come see me, discuss the designs, have one approved, and then you'll get started on making your 2 pinch pots. Okay, so there it is all the way around. Obviously, I still have some work to do. This is easily the best one, but for time's sake, we're just going to keep going. So now what you'll do is with a knife, you are going to cut your egg, barrel, softball, whatever you want to call it, in half up and down. We don't want to cut it in half right at the edges where we turned it, upside down and right side up. We don't want to cut the area we just slipped and scored together. That just doesn't make sense. So, up and down, very gently. Okay, that's one end. Get the other end. And now let's see what the insides look like. Perfect, so that is what your inside will look like at first. But part of the grade is we now want to smooth out that seam on the inside, just like what we were doing on the outside. So right now I'm just using my thumb. There will probably be excess slip on the inside from you, pushing the 2 pinch pots together. One thing to also note here, real quick, see, seam has disappeared. Again, I rushed it, so you guys do a better job than that. But on the inside, we can tell the thickness all the way around is, I would like to say, pretty even and consistent. The other one as well. That's the thickness. Now, right up here in the corner, there is a little bit we could still get rid of. That is very common for beginners, where the corners may be like a whole ½ inch thicker. And that's when you would get this tool, ribbon tool, or a loop tool, and you'd start to scrape away on the inside, just like this. Scraping away the inside corners so that you have that more even consistency. So, you'll smooth out the seam inside both halves of your egg, and then you'll take a picture of it. This one is close to done. This one obviously still needs a lot of work. There are good and bad examples on Schoology you can take a look at, but you'll take a picture of both of these just like this, iPad right here, upload it to Schoology, and that is it.